It's the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and it's time for us to have a look at what's going on in KNT Netball now. Good to have the girls back on the court this weekend after a week off. Joining me on the line to help us go through a big weekend of matches, as always, Sally Bywater is back. Hello, Sally. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
I reckon you're going to enjoy the weekend, and we'll explain why a little bit later on, but others may not. It's going to be an interesting weekend on the court, I reckon.
It will, yeah. Obviously, this weather's not looking great, but hopefully we might get rid of most of it today, and Saturday might be a bit nicer, but we'll wait and see.
We will wait and see on those weather conditions. But look, obviously no matches last week, the weekend off due to the State Country Football Championships. And first question for you today, we haven't got any games to review, but what's happening with border districts? Obviously we know the border's shut, Victoria's in lockdown, so they were due to play at Francis, I believe, but against Lucendale. What's happening with that fixture?
Yes, obviously with the borders closing, border districts have struggled to get those teams on the court this week. So all games between Borders and Lucendale have been called off. So they won't split points, but they'll just basically all games will be played as a bye. So match ratio will come down at the end of the season in those grades. So
right,
yeah, disappointing for them, but yeah, obviously the best solution for that club involved.
Nothing you can do about it. Obviously, it's out of everyone's control, but could have some sort of impact on ladders and whatnot towards the back end of the season. But I mean, it is what it is. You can only work with the rules you've got in front of you, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. And I suppose that's just what we have with a lot of towns along the border. And I know three or four other clubs involved that do have people coming from Victoria that aren't to be able to fill their sides completely. But yeah, all districts have just a few more, and it's disappointing. But this is what happens when the borders get shut down, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. It's a shame because that would have been one of the matches of the round this weekend, no doubt about that.
Oh, absolutely, the match of the round we would have seen. So, well, hopefully we might see them again playing finals or something.
No doubt. If we have a quick recap of the ladder before we get into the games that will be played this weekend. So Border District's on top of the A-grade ladder, 8 wins, no losses. So their match ratio won't change, obviously.
Yep.
Keith, 8-1. They're in second posse on the ladder. Penola, now they're 7-2, and this is where it gets tricky. Lucendale have had 2 byes. They've only played the 8 games, 6 wins, 2 losses, and they won't have played a game for nearly a month by the time they come back next week.
No, that's right. Yeah, before the bye, they played Kingston, so they didn't have a game then. So 3 weeks off is, not good at this time of the season for them. But, and having 3 byes and playing 8 games. So, yeah, I feel sorry for those girls.
Yep, nothing you can do about that. Mundalla round out the top 5 at the moment. They're 4 wins, 5 losses on percentage from Narracourt, who are 4 wins, 6 losses. Kybe Bolite, 3-6. And then, of course, Bordertown and Pathway still yet to have a win in the competition at the foot of the table. So that leads us into what should be an interesting round of matches, round 12. And interestingly enough, first game we'll look at is Pathway taking on Kybe Bolite. So plenty to play for Kybe. You'd think they would win this.
You would hope they would, yeah. They need to win these games to be getting into those final positions at the end of the year. So I think they'll have a good win this week, and I think Pathway's committed to that first win of the season.
Yep, keeps them in touch, Kybe Bolite, if they can win that. Bordertown taking on Keith. So we've got one of the bottom sides without a win at the moment, taking on the top side. Now, as I mentioned before, you'd be pretty pleased to play playing at Keith this weekend, I would have thought.
It would have been nice to play at Keith. I'm lucky we do have that Bordertown home game. We've played them on a beautiful day at the start of the season in their stadium. So we are disappointed not to be playing in the stadium this week. But, yeah, hopefully we both have been even playing good out in some not very nice weather. But I think Keith will be too good in this week.
Yes, I would think so. It's a shame that you can't just swap the fixture over.
We said that at the start of the season when we played. It would have been so much nicer to flip it then. But, this is what we do in the winter sport. But, yeah. We have to take that one.
It is what it is. And, of course, another A-grade game here is Narracourt taking on Penola. Now, I guess with the loss of the other one, Narracourt and Penola, I guess this is the match of the round. Narracourt really need to win this. They're just outside the top 5 at the moment. Can they upset Penola, do you think?
I think after Penola before the bye having their nice win against Keith, I just think Penola are in good form. Narracourt will have to upset them if they do want to play finals at the end of the season, I think. But I think this week Penalty will have just the edge, but yeah, hopefully it's a close game, and yeah, I think we probably match it around.
Yeah, all right. So only 3 fixtures to be played in A-grade netball this weekend in KNT, again with border districts and Lucindale having the weekend off due to those border restrictions and the lockdown in Victoria. So that's where we'll leave it. Anything else before we wrap up, actually, Sally?
No, we're just grateful that we can get those rest of the grades on the call. And it's a bit unlucky because Border Districts' Tyler Atkins was due to play a 250th game this week, which is a phenomenal achievement. So we'll actually look forward to her doing that again next week. So, yeah, bad luck, but there's always next week.
Exactly
Hopefully.
right. Yes, yeah, fingers crossed on that. And we'll catch up with you next week. Look forward to reviewing those matches, previewing round 13 then. Until then, enjoy the weekend.
I will. Thank you very much.